good fucking evening, everybody. Day 2 of the Daily Jander. How the hell are we doing today? I gotta say, today's a good one. I think today's a good one. Little sports heavy today. I would be remiss to ignore that. But I think we've got some fun stuff today. Plip, Ooga Booga number 84. What it do? What it do? Yo, BD, how we doing, bro? How are we doing today? Let me make sure we're not tangled before we start this shit. Here, I'll throw some over my shoulder too, just to double down. Got a hair in my mouth. Disgusting. But as you can see above me, on today's agenda, we're gonna talk about the first reveal for the Madden ratings. We've got some wide receivers. Nothing really too surprising. Some snubs in my opinion, but nothing out of the ordinary. Then we've got some Cade Cunningham information. This is the Jander Eats Hair stream. Hey, it might have to be. It might have to be. How we doing, Dan? But we're gonna talk NBA draft a little bit. We're gonna talk mostly about the Pistons and how they should be locked in on Cade Cunningham, but it appears that they are not. Did you come up with this podcast? I sure did, Brave Red Baller. I sure did. So yeah, this is all the brainchild of this guy right here. So if it sucks, my fault. If it rocks, that's on me. How we doing though? How we doing? And then the last thing, we're gonna start out a little series where I rank the professional sports teams by how well their name would score in a game of Scrabble. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it, shall we? So it is late July, which means NFL is right around the corner. And with NFL being right around the corner, we have Madden. Love it, hate it, indifferent. It is what it is. It's a pretty big deal. But Madden revealed the top wide receivers today. So let's take a look, shall we? Let me pull it up for you. Boom. Sports games are trash? Some. I will agree with you to an extent. I think some sports games are better than others. I think we're slowly Mario Golf is fire. The new Mario Golf game is fire. But I think some sports games have it more figured out than others. Madden is not one of them, but it's something to talk about, right? So leading us off, we have Devontae Adams. Will he be a Green Bay Packer when this season starts? Who knows? Apparently Aaron Rodgers is close. So if they can strike a deal with Aaron Rodgers, then we don't have to worry too much about Devontae Adams, especially with all of the stuff they've been posting on Instagram and whatnot. So yeah. Up next, we have DeAndre Hopkins at a 98. Personally, I would take D-Hop over Devontae Adams, but I don't make the rules here. I don't even play Madden that much. Then we have Tyreek Hill at a 98. With that 99 speed and acceleration, that is frightening. He is scary fast. Then we have Stephon Diggs and Julio Jones. Stephon Diggs at a 97 and Julio at a 95. That's fair enough. Now, Michael Thomas being a 94, I think is absolutely ridiculous. The dude missed almost the entire year being injured, and now it's looking like he's going to miss another 3 to 4 months. He should not be in the 90s. There is no guarantee he returns even a shadow of his former self. He should not be on this list. Keenan Allen at a 93. I like that. Sleeper pick. Keenan Allen, probably one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. I feel like he never really gets the credit that he deserves. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm 100% correct, but I never feel like Keenan Allen is brought up in like the top wide receivers of the NFL. Amari Cooper at a 92. speaks for itself. Amari Cooper's been consistent for the last 3-4 seasons. I think he's only been in the league for that long. Mike Evans at a 91 feels low, but also the Buccaneers wide receiving core is stacked. So who really knows? I don't think it might not be that egregious of a statement. And then Allen Robinson at a 90, maybe. Do I think that Odell Beckham should be close? Yes. Will it also depend on whether or not he's healthy all season? Also, yes. Claw, how are we doing today? Welcome in. We're currently just breaking down the wide receiver rankings that were released for Madden. And that's all we have there. I think it's only the top 10 if I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I can count. But then they also released some rookies. So we have Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, Jamar Chase, 76, 75, and 77, respectively. Elijah Moore at a 73, Kadarius Toney at a 72, and Rashad Bateman also at a 72. For rookie ratings, pretty fair, honestly. And again, it's hard to say with rookies. Like, you never really know how they're going to pan out. Like, they could be absolute booms. They could be absolute busts. I think Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, and Jamar Chase are 3 surefire going to do well in the NFL. They're 3 receivers that you could take them in any order. You could have taken them in any order in the draft, and I think you would have been correct. So yeah, I don't think any of the rookie ratings are too crazy. They all seem pretty reasonable. It'll be interesting to see what they release moving forward. I don't know what's next. But we'll have to keep an eye on it. If they release more stuff tomorrow, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Really just depends on how they release and when. So I that's pretty much all I have for Madden. I don't really think there's a lot to talk about outside of that. Yeah. Moving on. I guess we're gonna fly through it today. Might be a shorter one. I don't know. We'll make some stuff up as we go. Anyways, the Detroit Pistons are at a monumental crossroads in their franchise right now. We have a very bright core, a young core with a lot of potential. But now there's some indecision in the Pistons camp on who the fuck we should be taking on Thursday night with the NBA draft. Now, if you look at Pistons Twitter, it's a pretty much consensus agreement that we should be taking Cade Cunningham. I mean, the dude is 6'8", 220 pounds, and plays point guard. Seems like a no-brainer to me, right? Surefire pick. Like, the most agreed upon prospect in this draft class. Like, Cade Cunningham is the dog. He is a dog. Everyone thinks he should go number 1. The Pistons, not sure yet. Apparently, we're still between Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, and Evan Mobley. Now, granted, all 3 of those players are probably going to succeed in the NBA. They're 3 surefire picks. But of those 3 surefire picks, Cade Cunningham is the most, like, agreed upon, like, this is the guy, take him. But I also think that the Pistons are throwing up a smokescreen and have no intention of not taking him. Because it came out today that the Oklahoma City Thunder reportedly made an offer to the Pistons for the number 1 pick. I heard a rumor it was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the number 6. Which, that's a good offer. Like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a young player, a lot of potential, could be an absolutely game changer, and the number 6 pick is still not bad. The problem is, it's not a top 3 pick. Those 3 players we mentioned just a couple minutes ago are the only surefire options, right? Like, those are the 3, like, that everybody wants. But I still think Cade Cunningham is numero uno. And apparently the Rockets are also making an offer. But the Pistons turned down the Thunder offer, which I think is a better deal than any of the other offers that could be thrown out. I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in the 6 would be the best we're going to get. I can't see Houston offering better than that. But again, I don't think Detroit budges. I think Detroit drafts Cade Cunningham, and the Pistons are off and running towards actually being a competitive franchise again. Talking a little bit more about Cade, the dude has already come out and said that he loves Detroit. Detroit was the only team he was meeting with. He doesn't even want to go anywhere else. Like, the fact that we're even considering other people at this point is ridiculous. The guy said, I love Detroit. I've already been listening to Detroit music and things like that way before the draft lottery, any of that stuff. I was already hip to the culture in Detroit. It's a city that has a lot of things going on, and I feel like getting the sports team rolling again would be huge for the city. Detroit fits me. That's the main thing I'm going to try to do, is step in and embody the swag that people from Detroit walk with. The people from Michigan in general. They have an underdog, go get what you want feel to them, and I like that about the city. If I'm able to go in there and be the number 1 pick, I'm going to try to carry that same swag and how I walk on the court and make the most out of it and wear the red, white, and blue for sure. That sounds like a guy who wants to be in Detroit. And when your entire fan base wants this guy to be in Detroit, make it happen. Get him here. Don't even field other offers. Don't even listen. Put the phone down. Put the phone down. Go read a book. Go outside. Go take a walk. You see somebody call, just ignore it. Silence that shit. Just get muted. Like, we're not even entertaining you today. That's what we should be doing. But Detroit sports kind of notorious for fucking things up. Let's be honest. I mean, the Lions. We had Matt Patricia. Joke of a coach. Should have never happened. The Tigers are the Tigers. We have a really, really promising farm system. But that means we won't be good for the next 5 years, right? The Pistons, historically a good team. Recently, not a good team. You know, but that's how sports work. You're not going to be a good team forever, right? Like, it's just not possible. And the Red Wings. Oh, my sweet, sweet, sweet Red Wings. So good for so long. But when dynasties end, they never end pretty. 25 straight years in the playoffs, and now we're a poverty franchise for the next couple of years. But Steve Yzerman. Need I say more? Look what he did in Tampa Bay. 2 straight cups. That's all Steve Yzerman. That roster, that's Steve Yzerman. While we're talking about it, I guess we could take a look at the Red Wings draft. I know probably not a lot of you are big on hockey, but I am. Let's see what the hockey writers had to say. New camera angle? Sort of new camera angle. This is probably the one you're used to seeing. No. I mean, yeah, I guess it is. Because this, I think normally we keep it, like, over here. But, like, I slid it just a wee bit down my monitor, so now it's here. Nothing crazy, but it makes a slight difference in the grand scheme of things. Unless I might have had it over here at one point. I think I had it over here. Normally you can see the bedroom. Yeah, I think it used to be over here. But for whatever reason, I don't like. I think I like the other angle better. I think I like the camera. Oh, this is gonna be a fun one on YouTube. I think I like the camera more here. I don't know why. It just feels more open and relaxed to me. But how are we doing? Other angle looks. I really don't think there's like a bad angle. I don't have a bad side, right? Yeah, this one I agree. I like it more. I think you get. Well, hold on. I gotta tilt it up a little bit more so you can actually see the light. But like, I don't know. It feels. No, I feel like that's too high now. Now I'm like conflicted. Okay, that's good. Not too bad. Just got home. We're right on. Well, we talked about. I don't know how big into Madden and the NBA you are, but we talked a little bit about the Madden ratings coming out, and we talked a little bit about how the Detroit Pistons would monumentally fuck up if they do not draft Cade Cunningham. Foot cam, we'll say at 500 subs. Foot cam at 500. Get that trending. But sticking in the Detroit sports realm, the Red Wings just had an absolutely massive draft, in my opinion. We got probably one of the best defensemen in the draft with Simon Edvinsson. We went very Sweden heavy in this draft, and we traded up to get the goalie of the future in Sebastian Kosa. Now, a lot of people say this is a reach. He said, BRB gotta rob a bank. All right, we'll see you when you get back. A lot of people say that the Kosa draft pick is a reach, but Steve Yzerman knows hockey. And when Steve Yzerman sees a player he wants, he's going to go get it. And you got to trust the process. Then we got Shai Buim. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And Carter Measer, a left defenseman and a left wing. Both solid players. The thing with this draft especially is it's a lot of boom or bust, where if these guys hit, they're absolute home run draft picks. And if they don't hit, it's really, really bad. Which, I mean, you could make the argument that that's every draft in the history of forever. But I think this one's a bit different. It feels different. Then we got, in my opinion, probably the coolest fucking name in the entire draft, Red Savage. That is a sick name. And it's even cooler because he's playing for the Red Wings. Like, the narrative writes itself, as Nick Hankel would say. If you don't know Nick Hankel, probably not a big Detroit sports fan, which I don't think any of you are, but definitely check him out at Nicholas Hankel on Twitter. Pretty entertaining guy. Does a lot of NBA stuff, but he's really entertaining to watch. Anyways, we got Liam Dower-Nilsson, who is best friends with our first pick, Simon Edvinsson. They were hanging out when Liam got drafted, which I think is super sick. Not really like important from like a hockey standpoint, but it's just like a feel good, like this is kind of cool that they're playing together and they're best friends. It's just a wholesome moment. Then we got Oscar Plandowski. He's a right defenseman. I believe they're saying he's one of the best skating defensemen in the draft. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me. And pick number 166, also a very sick name, Pascal Zito. And I was reading up on him after the draft, and apparently if the OHL had a season this year, he would have been much higher on draft boards. So sounds like an absolute steal to me. He's got one of the hardest slap shots that I've ever seen. So future is bright in Detroit all around. The Lions' new regime. Hopefully, Dan Campbell fixes what Matt Patricia left. Troy Weaver, Wizard GM, could save the Pistons as long as we draft Cade Cunningham. I got you on that, Hydrate. The Tigers, a lot of young prospects looking good. We won't be good for 5 years, but in 5 years, we could be great. Who really knows? And who am I not mentioning? Yes, the Red Wings. The upstart Red Wings, who have probably the best GM in hockey currently in Steve Yzerman. So, we'll check back on Detroit sports in a year, and we'll see how we're looking. Anybody in the audience have a topic they wish to discuss before I move into my first part of ranking NBA teams by how well their team name would score in a game of Scrabble? We'll do like the first half today or the first 10. I don't know. We're gonna draw it out for content. That way I can like segment that specific part of the stream out and put it on TikTok. You know, I gotta game the system a little bit, right? I can't just give you all 30 teams right off the rip. I need to milk it for content. But yeah, so if anybody in chat wants to bring up a topic to discuss, let's hear it. Otherwise, this might be a shorter episode today because I don't really have a lot planned outside of the aforementioned whatchamacallit. Thoughts on the Steam Deck? Ooh, that's actually good. Let me pull up a picture of it just so that we have that. I think it's awesome. If I didn't have a PC, I would probably get one. You want to hydrate some more? Hydration is always important. But yeah, I think the Steam Deck looks awesome. It is everything that the Switch should have been and more. And that is perfect timing. You didn't even have to do it. Streamlabs is telling me to hydrate on its own. I think it's a great deal. I really love the Steam Deck. Let me pull this picture up just so you guys can get a better feel. And we'll go ahead and pull that up. So this is the Steam Deck. If you are in the gaming space, there's almost no way that you haven't heard of this thing by now. In theory, it's probably the Switch. I wouldn't say the Switch killer. But like I said, this is what the Switch should have been and still could be. I think this is showing everybody that you can have a high-powered handheld system at a fair price. Like, it is not an expensive system. And if we got this piece of hardware from Nintendo, developers would go crazy. Like, think of what developers could do with a system this powerful. And it's handheld. Like, let's break it down. Quad-core Zen 2 CPU with 8 threads. So it's AMD RDNA 2 graphics. 16 gigs of RAM. That's beefy. 3 different storage tiers, 64, 256, and 512. But I also believe there's a micro SD. To be fair, it's not as portable as a Switch. Correct. But I would say everything else about it is better. It's a 7-inch 1280 by 800 touchscreen for 720p gameplay. Gyroscope for motion controls, 2 shoulder triggers, and 4 back buttons, as well as built-in microphones. It's not as portable, but it is considerably more powerful. I think I would trade portability for power, in my opinion. 40 watt-hour battery provides several hours of playtime for most games. For lighter use cases like game streaming, smaller 2D games, or web browsing, you can expect the maximum battery life of approximately 7 to 8 hours. You can play Portal 2 for 4 hours on this thing. If you limit it to 30, you're going to be playing for 5 to 6. So I think that it has a better upside than the Switch does currently. Quick suspend resume feature built into SteamOS that will let you put the device into sleep mode and pick up where you left off later. We'll also sell a dock you can use to prop up and plug into external displays. You won't need a dock to plug it into a TV, though. Valve says that the deck can be plugged into your TV monitor or even your old CRT if you have the right cables. Hard to beat, honestly. Running a new version of SteamOS. Full-fledged Linux computer, meaning that more technical users will be able to jump out to the regular Linux desktop, plug in a mouse, keyboard, and monitor, and install other game stores, regular PC software, browse the web, and more. So it's proving that it is possible to have a handheld system with power. Right? Nintendo, we don't want an OLED screen. We want to be able to play better games more optimally. Like, this thing is it's so cool. There's a refundable $5 reservation fee, blah, blah, blah. Coming out in December is when we'll start to see first units. This is just, to me, this is a wake-up call that Nintendo needs to take making a Switch Pro model more seriously and not making an OLED version. Like, I don't give a shit what the screen looks like. I want something with power. No, I agree. If I had to choose between more power or an OLED screen, I want more power first. Right? Like, I want the system to run better games better. And then give me a nicer screen, sure. I'm not saying I don't want a nicer screen. I'm just saying I'm willing to sacrifice screen quality for a system that actually runs AAA titles, right? Not shitty ports. But I mean, it's a step in the right direction. I think if this thing does as well as it seems it's going to, Nintendo might actually take making a Switch Pro more seriously. But until then, who knows? We just have to wait until December, or whenever they release more info about this thing. But yeah, the Steam Deck is super sick. It's so cool. It really is a cool concept. It looks really cool. It looks really sleek. But how will it perform? Only time will tell. All right, let me take a drink of water. Just got on a long-winded rant there. That's good stuff. Drink water. It's very, very important. I guess without further ado, we can get into the first half here of my list. Let me hide that because I don't want to spoil the entire thing for you. But yeah, so Scrabble. It's a game everyone knows and everyone loves, right? Word games, they're sick. But how would NBA teams score if their names were played in a game of Scrabble? Convention aside, obviously some teams are going to have more letters than you can play in a turn. This is all hypothetical, baby. I make the rules. I should also probably make sure that I have... There it is. All right. So, we'll do the NBA today. We'll do the NBA today, tomorrow, and the day after. We'll do 10. We'll do our first 10. And then we'll do anyone. We'll just go through the sports leagues. Like, you know how it goes. I'm going to edit them in. Like, the logos are going to end up right here. You won't see them, but post-production, Jander will be hard at work doing that. So, coming in dead last, we have the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, 76, you can't play that in Scrabble, so we're left with ERS. 3 points if you played their name in Scrabble. Followed up by a tie between the Brooklyn Nets. I almost said the New Jersey Nets. That's not their name anymore. We have the Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns would each score you 4 points in a game of Scrabble. Then we have a three-way tie after that. We have the Spurs of San Antonio, the Miami Heat, and the Chicago Bulls would each score you 7 points in a game of Scrabble. So we have, once again, the 76ers. What if you use the whole word? Then it would be a lot higher of a score. But we're taking it at face value, and whatever their name is what you would play in Scrabble. So we have the 76ers with 3 points, the Nets with 4 points, also the Suns with 4 points, the Spurs, the Heat, and the Bulls all with 7. Then we have a 4-way tie for whatever places are next. I have lost count. Post-production me will sort it out. We have the Orlando Magic. Look at their wonderful logo right here. The Indiana Pacers, also right here. The Sacramento Kings. What a wonderful logo. Look at that. Oh, it's such a pretty logo. And then we have the Los Angeles Lakers, also right here. Classic logo, right? Like, look at it. It's just incredible. All three of those would score you 10 points in a game of Scrabble. Swag J4. The glasses are facing the wrong way, but we'll overlook that. So yeah, those are the first 10. After this, I promise it ramps up, especially when you factor in the fact that some teams have a 50-point bonus for using 7 or more tiles. So the points are gonna ramp up tomorrow for sure. Oh, my throat just got a little scratchy. But yeah, that's all I really had on the agenda for today. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up before we call it a day? Man, all that post-production looks great. I know, right? I'm going to be busy for the next hour or so editing and doing all that. But yeah, just a friendly reminder. If you missed the stream or want to go back and revisit something we talked about from any episode moving forward, they're all going to be posted. Oh, shit, it's over here. They're all going to be posted there. The full VOD, some of them, if I have to add post-production, I'll add post-production. But pretty much all raw and unedited. BD, I feel like we go over this every single time you ask that. It is always, whenever you ask that question, the answer is tomorrow. I'm streaming every day this year. So if you're catching me today, there is a 100% chance that you will also catch me tomorrow. And the day after. And the day after. And the day after. I'm here every day. We're going to try to shoot for 8:30. No, I mean, like, what game are you going to be talking? Oh, what's next stream going to be? I thought it said wins. I'm losing it. I don't know. It changes every day. Whatever I feel like talking about that day. So if I read an interesting article or see a fun tweet, expect to see that at some point. Actually, while I'm thinking about that, let me see if I can find this. We'll send you out with a fun little Gardner Minshew gem. All right. This is how I want to live my life. So Gardner Minshew, quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, is going to be battling for his job with young upstart Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. The number 1 overall pick. The golden boy of the NFL now. But this is what Gardner Minshew had to say on their competition. He said, in preparation for the competition, I haven't taken a shit in weeks. Number 2 isn't an option for me. Absolutely ruthless. That is just a W mentality. That is a alpha male mentality, right? Shout out to Gardner Minshew. Hopefully your colon is fine. Yeah, I agree. It's unhealthy, but that's the kind of dedication to a craft I hope to have someday, right? The ability to just completely focus my entire brain power on one goal and one goal only. In this case, being the number 1 quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars at the start of the season. So I have decided that until I am Twitch partnered doing this talk show, I'm not going to take a shit. I will not shit until we are partnered. That is a commitment I'm willing to make. Obviously, I am joking. Poop daily. It's absolutely fantastic for your colon health. Actually, the more the merrier. Like, get them all out. Like, don't hold that in. Don't hold that in. We need a live toilet cam for proof. That'll be on the OnlyFans at 1,000 subs. The Only Jans, as some people have affectionately named it. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. I got to do some editing, unfortunately. Not unfortunate. I love doing it. It's fun. I have a good time. Watching myself back. Oh, shoot. Let's get him there. Do what you can. Tell your friends. I'm here daily. I think I'm entertaining. Some of you have stuck around for a while, so clearly you agree. But let's see if we can't grow a little bit, right? Anyways, I'm gonna raid out. I'm gonna try to not be too long today. Raid message number 1 if you're a sub. Raid message number 2 if you aren't. We're going to raid my good friend. Let's see if he's still going hard. We're going to raid my friend Christian. He's playing some Dead by Daylight. Awesome guy. Big fan of his. He's very entertaining. We'll raid him. I'm going to go edit this. It'll be up on YouTube by tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Let's send you off. There's that. Don't forget you get Jando for sticking around. We're going to add some more options to that to make this show more interesting. That's all I got for you today. Everyone have a great night. Don't forget, sub to the YouTube if you aren't already. And yeah, we'll hopefully have some more entertaining stuff to talk about tomorrow. Get in that raid if you're not there. Looks like a few of you are. So we'll take it. All right, that's all I have for you. Until tomorrow, take it easy. Good stream, see you. Thank you, Claw. Appreciate you hanging out, man. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow. I've got nothing else to say. Don't forget to take a shit at least once a day.
Up in my town, I'm the man, hands down. Hands up if you with it right now. Balling out for the city, how the hell does that sound? Game 3, playing to a home crowd, get loud. Let me hear you get loud. For the rookie of the year, running over all the doubt. Got the Charlie off the flow, bitch, I'm betting on myself. Betting on my team like there's nobody else.